Good afternoon everyone, I hope you're all well. Happy Monday afternoon. It's not bad weather, it's a bit drizzly, but it's okay, we can deal with it, can't we? I hope you're all well. Thank you for joining me live in the studio today. I did see a comment from a lady saying, hurry up, I'm on my meal break. I'm like, come on. So lovely to see you all. My name is Tony Darroch and I'm a guest presenter over on Create and Craft, and I love anything to do with crafting. And this is a fabulous channel where you can come and take the inspiration. Even if you don't have our products, you can take the inspiration and do as you please. You can twist it and make it into something fabulous, something that's going to make you smile and something that's going to make the person who receives it smile. So welcome to the channel. If you are brand new, don't forget to click the subscribe button on our YouTube, and don't forget the little HD button, that gives you a better viewing experience. And after the live show, if you could pop a comment on the video when we've finished and we've said goodbye, that would be brilliant also. This gives us a wider reach. If you are on Facebook, we always post the finished makes over on Facebook, and sometimes when I have the time we do giveaways of the products that we've used in studio and of the lovely cards too. I hope you're all well. So hello Liz, Tracy, Angela, Enid, Amanda, Heather, Elaine, Tina, Tracy, Moral, Tracy, Brahimi. Wow, there's lots of you. Too many to Rio, Sylvia, Brian. Hello everyone, lovely to see you all. And it's just a lovely place to come for at least an hour and just share hints, tips, techniques. If there's a question I can't answer, then the lovely ladies and gents that have been on here from day dot will be able to help you as well. So looking forward to today's creativity. Kate, it's very creative today, very different today. So in today's studio we are going to be using the fabulous Enjoy the View, which is this fabulous stamp here. It's the last session in this one, but I know a lot of you bought the stamp yesterday, so don't worry if you bought the stamp yesterday, you'll get it through the post. And don't forget, you can go back on YouTube and do all the inspiration and all the crafty activity that we've been doing with this stamp. It never goes away. So this is a lovely stamp here, super huge this one, and then this has been a fabulous one and you've all thoroughly enjoyed it. Have you seen how I've painted my nails in so it matches with my jumper? I had 5 minutes to myself and I thought, right, red nails today. They are really actually quite grotty. They're all chipped, but anyway, you've got to make the most of it in this current situation, haven't we? And then tomorrow we're going to move on to this one, which is Take a Stroll, and we'll just turn this one over for you. So a super duper big one on here, and lots of techniques with this one we're going to be able to do as of tomorrow. So that's that one. I am also launching the next 2 Craft Academy stamps today. So you've already found them, didn't you? I didn't even tell you, and some of you found them. I'm not mentioning any names, but these people are fast. You know who you are. So I'm launching these 2, and they are the last stamps in the Craft Academy 12-week program. Where did the time go? Thank you so much if you have been with me on this journey. I know you're all saying that I've been very supportive of you throughout this lockdown, but honestly, you've given back to me as much as I've given you, and the time has just flown. So thank you everybody, it really is a big thank you. I'll just turn these ones around for you so you can see how lovely they are. Nice big large stamp, so going to be doing some fabulous techniques with these ones, and I'm really looking forward to this one because probably a lot of you are thinking I'm not sure what we'd do with that one, and I've got some fab techniques with this one. So these are on our website now. If you go to our search engine over on our website, pop FBL into that search engine, it brings up all the products that we use live in studio, new launches we do, and if I use something in studio, it's generally in FBL. If you can't find it, just give us a shout and we'll be able to find it for you. In today's demonstration, we're going to do a bit of collage. Probably all thinking, oh my gosh. But what I wanted to do today is this stamp lends itself beautifully to mixing with other products, other brands, texture, watercolours. We've not really touched on it, so I'm going to take the opportunity today to touch on a little bit of texture and collage building. Don't be off put by it, and don't be off put if you don't have any of the products. Please dig in your stash because you might have something that will work equally as well. You do not have to have our products to join in today's studio. So let's see, is everybody okay? Yep. A couple of things I just need to tell you about. I won't take too much of your time. If you've got a pen, I've got a couple of announcements to make. So we have now sketched some lovely dates into our diary for moving forwards after Craft Academy. So if you have a pen, I have a Facebook Live this Thursday at 11 AM showing you some brand new products that will be live on Create and Craft. So Facebook Live Thursday 11 AM, and that's over on the Facebook Eureka fan page. So if you're not in the Eureka fan page, you need to get into that group. Just ask if you can join the group, and then you can come and have a look at all the inspiration and the lovely ladies that are in there making some fabulous things. So that's 11. Why does their phone always ring when Tony's on? Bless you. So Facebook Live Thursday 11 AM. Show times for my shows are Friday. I've written down the days and no times. Oh, that's me trying to be organised. Never mind, what I'll do is I will tell you tomorrow. But anyway, I'm on TV Friday, Saturday and Sunday. So I'll give you the times for those. 2 hours each day, I think it is, but I will keep you posted on that one. And then with regards to all the Craft Academy cards and things that you've all been sending me, the Craft Academy, where I'm going to show you the makes that you've all made, and we're going to have an hour's talking about reflecting back basically on the last 12 weeks and things like that. What we're going to do is, the date for that one is the 18th of July, and that's a Saturday, okay? So I know a lot of you said, can you please make sure it's Saturday because we work, and absolutely we can do that. So Saturday the 18th of July, I hope that's okay. I'm sure it will be fine. It said you were on Tuesday. I think with the skeleton staff over on Create and Craft, things are getting a little bit higgledy-piggledy, but they soon get it sorted. So I am actually on Friday, Saturday and Sunday. So if it's raining, you can have a lovely weekend of inspiration from me. If it's sunny, I'm going to come and find you, take you out of the garden and bring you inside. And then, so that's the Craft Academy, where we're going to talk through the lovely cards and have a lovely hour or so. And that's where you get to find out about your surprise. 18th of July. Put it in your diary. And then our store is going to be open on the 25th of July. So it's a Saturday, and we're going to be open 10 till 3. That's the only date I have in the diary for the store. Okay, so it would be lovely if some of you could visit. I appreciate a lot of you are still maybe shielding and things like that at home. If you are visiting the store, if you can just respect everybody else by not coming with a cough or a cold or anything, or any symptoms or anything that might put anybody else at risk, that would be brilliant. But by all means, you can visit our store. We will have everything in place to look after you and give you a lovely experience in store. So if you've got some things in mind and you want to pop in and come and say hi, then please do so. So I hope that's okay. Is that okay? Is everybody happy? I'm certainly happy, which means I know you guys are certainly happy. Just too far away for me. Maybe not too far away forever though, Roseanne. So let's just set my notes aside. So if you've got any questions, you can PM me on my channel. Too far for me? You're all saying too far. Watch this space. I'll have a drink of my coffee. So today's studio, we're going to be using a mixture of things. Now, we're going to be using the Fabulous Window, which is this one, okay? And then we're going to be using a few of our older products. So I'm also going to be using this one, which is the Imala Vintage Butterfly. Now, if you don't have a butterfly, you don't have to have this stamp to create this project, okay? So if you're thinking, I've only got the window, I don't have a butterfly, well, that's fine. You don't have to incorporate the butterfly. But I just want to show you a little bit of background and foreground with two different stamps. And those two different stamps do not need to be the stamps that I'm using in studio today. No, so on the Create and Craft on the 18th of July is the celebration of 8 years over on Create and Craft. That's our birthday. So this is this Friday coming, which I'm talking about. So yes, I'm on TV on the 18th for 4 days, I believe. I hope that helps. So, right. So I'm using the butterfly, I'm using the window, and I'm also going to be using the background textured stamp. If you don't have this, don't worry about it. You might have something in your stash that works. These products, particularly these two, are definitely not necessary for this demo. But if you have something similar, that's brilliant. Okay, right. So let's get crafting, because that's why you've all come. So I have a piece of watercolour card here. This is the Carter. So I find watercolour card is a little bit easier to move colour around and things like that. It's got less chalk content, so it allows me to, you know, play a little bit longer than normal cardstock. What am I saying? Have I said something wrong? This weekend is the 4th. Yes, it's a different launch. I'm sorry, did I not say that? So I'm on TV. So you're on TV on the 18th of July with a birthday celebration. That's correct. And did I say 18th on my thing? Let's have a look. Oh yeah, I'm glad somebody's picked up on that one. Yes, so maybe leave it with me. We'll cover it tomorrow. So good spot that one though, to the lady who said that. Good spot. So piece of watercolour card, window, and some various bits and pieces. So first of all, what I'm going to do is I'm going to stamp the butterfly on this piece of cardstock here before we use our window. So I'm going to use our lovely Eureka. And this is basically a bit of fun. Enjoy it, you know, we're not born artists. Enjoy the process of putting something together. If it works, amazing. If it doesn't, learn from it and move on to the next project. That's what I always say. So basically I'm going to pop this little huge butterfly over here on this corner. I'm going to do it off the page slightly. So it's just covering the bottom part here. If you haven't got a butterfly and you just have the window, just skip this stage, okay? So let's just stamp this one out first. And I'm just going to do this in a brownie colour, Gathered Twigs Distress ink, okay? So if you don't have these ink pads, use any ink pad, it doesn't really matter. So I'm just going to get this stamped out onto my lovely watercolour card. Get lots of colour on there. Just move that one out of the way. Oh, they're just a red nail varnish from a shopping store, not like a beauty store, just where you get your groceries. Nothing fancy. I don't do fancy, do I? Well, mind you, sometimes I can be fancy if I want to be. So there we go. So you get this beautiful imprint of that beautiful, beautiful butterfly. So what we need to do next is we need to take our window. So what I've done ahead of time, and whilst I'm talking, you can be doing this. So I stamped it onto some copier paper, really, really thin, and I just basically did a rough cut around. So I've just got a little bit of a mask. Can we see that there? So all I'm going to do is I'm just going to pull my artwork down. I'm just going to lay it over this butterfly here. Hold it in place, and as you can see, it's not cut the best, but it's okay as long as it covers the breast of the wings of the butterfly, then that's okay. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to take my gorgeous Enjoy the View stamp, and I'm just going to pop it just up here, or slightly offset, because I am doing a bit of a collage, so it doesn't have to be perfect. Some of you might refer to it as a bit of a mixed media project, but I'm calling it collage. I think it's just a little bit lighter and it's not as off-putting. So you can see there I've held that lovely butterfly in place with the mask, and I'm just going to stamp this one on top. And I'm just going to use the exact same colour. So I'm just going to pick up this stamp. I'm just going to use exactly the same colour. So if you are crafting along and I've sort of run away with you, press pause. It doesn't change anything. just pause the video until you can catch up, or watch the video through and then go back and watch it again if you want to. So I'm just going to stamp over here so we get the lovely detail, and what will happen is, because we've masked that butterfly, the window will be in the background and the butterfly will be in the foreground. I'm just trying to make sure I get all that detail, and if you can, when you use a mask, make sure it's a thin mask, so copier paper, and that enables you to get all that detail around because the paper's nice and thin on your mask. We see that there. So I'm just going to do that one more time, try and get a little bit more of this. There we go. So what happens then when you remove your mask, you get the butterfly which is creeping on top of the window. Can we see that there? So if you have a dragonfly stamp or a bird or something like this, then use what you've got in your stash. It doesn't have to be as big as this one, but this is the only really butterfly I have in my stash. And this is the Imala one, and it is in FBL, so if you do like this one, you can have a look at it. So there we go. We've got our composition, foreground and background. Yep, the butterfly is huge, and you would never get a butterfly on a balcony that big. But because we're doing a bit of collage, it doesn't really matter. We're not trying to create like perfect perspective. What we're trying to do is build layers, and what this will do is it will encourage you to maybe try and layer build when you come to stamp. So if you have a wreath and you want to add some flowers, you can layer build yourself. You'll have the confidence to do that. So it's like a step change. So it's giving you the confidence, maybe not on a window and a butterfly, but it might give you the confidence to do this type of effect on wreaths and flowers and things like that. So let's take this out. So at this point you might have only stamped the window because you don't have a butterfly, and that's absolutely fine. We're going to create some texture and some colour on this one. So I'm just going to pop this on here now, and I'm just going to get some tape, some masking tape, and hold my artwork down. You don't have to hold your artwork down if you don't want to, but I just prefer to. So I've put this on my jeans just to get rid of some of the tack on there. So I'm just going to hold this in place. That's it, perfect, thank you. I'm just going to move it up a little bit so you can all see what's going on. Pop it in those lines. And what will happen then is when you come to take your tape off, you'll have a lovely white mount around your work, which will just finish it perfectly. It'll look really, really pretty. Oh, you do make me laugh on here. That's not quite thick enough. Let's make it a bit thicker. So try and get your border even all the way around. Don't worry if you don't know. It's not the end of the world. See, that is not straight at all. That will frustrate me. Just take that off. Do it again. There we go. And then the last one down this side. There we go. So we've got a nice border around there. And this is where we get to have lots and lots of fun. So you can use your distress inks, what you have, your big ones, your small ones. You can use your palette, you can use your confetti inks, you can use your watercolour pens, sparkle pens. You know, just get out what's going to create a little bit of colour. I'm just going to use my palette. I might mix in some of these too. there are no rules. So first of all, I'm going to get some colour laid on here, and I'm not going to be scared of it. So normally you're thinking, well, what colours? Do colours that you wouldn't traditionally pick and see if you enjoy it. Push your boundaries a little bit. So just got some clean, clear water here. And just wetting my brush, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to just go around here and get some colour down. So I always find the best way to do that is laying clean, clear water down. Now, if it connects with the ink pad and the brown starts to bleed, don't worry about it. It looks really effective anyway. So I'm just taking that water up to that butterfly. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to focus on, say, this little corner part here. Focus on this part first, then we'll move on to another corner. Okay, so I'm just wetting that area. And then what colour shall we do? Let's have a look. Because our stamp is brown, let's do a little bit of brown. Just bring my palette in so you can see what's going on. So let's get a little bit of brown. Let's get a little bit of black. And I'm going to go a little bit of red because these are colours that I would not normally pick, so I'm going to go for it. Oops, without chucking it around. So I'm going to drop some of this brown into this water here. Hopefully that's down. Yep. This is called just a wet in wet technique, and this gives you a lovely soft wash, which makes your artwork look like it's not floating. So pop a little bit of brown in there, pick up some black. Let's spot some black in too. And as you can see, I'm not being precious about my artwork, my stamp detail, because that can be added later. And then pick up some of the lovely red. Take some of that red up there. So I'm just pouncing. I'm not, I'm not trying to give a smooth blend. I'm literally just pouncing that colour in there. And it'll dry back 2 or 3 shades lighter than it is when it's wet. So have the confidence to go for it. So let's do this area here. So just popping that colour in there. So if you're just going around a window, you're just doing exactly the same as what I'm doing. It's just that I'm going around the butterfly as well. So I'm not being, try not to be possessive about, is that the right word? Possessive about where you're popping it, because it won't work. You can't control watercolours. The water does the talking, unfortunately. So you're never gonna win. So let's come up here then. I'm just going to go down the side of these panels here on the window and around. So let's work in some colour then. So basically, as we always say when I'm doing images anyway, we're creating a backdrop here, so our artwork's not floating. So pounce it in. And some black too. Just making sure my tape's, I'm not sure if I've stuck my tape down secure enough there. Am I going to end up with a bleed underneath? I hope not. Pick up some of this lovely red. Browns, reds and blacks. We wouldn't normally put that together, would we? So this is going to look different. So there we go. So I'm going to absolutely leave that one there. So, and then we're going to move around here. Clean, clear water. Pound some of those colours in. Doing these kind of techniques as well helps you relax a little bit more and try not to be precise with your colouring. These sorts of wet techniques are a great starting point to try and detract you from being perfect with your colouring. There we go. So you can see already, look how much lighter this area is compared to up here. It's practically gone, hasn't it? It's not a bad thing though. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to dry it with my heat gun. Normally they would say leave it to air dry, but I am going to go with the gun just so we can move on. Just giving it that helping hand to dry. Move that puddle out a bit. So basically now our images are not floating, they have a nice backdrop. Hopefully none of that colour seeps underneath. Hopefully. I think we'll go with that one. There we go. So to create a little bit of texture, now there's variations of various ways you can do texture. I'm going to use the acrylic paste sand, but I've been told that some, what is it called? Is it putty? Not putty. That fill holes in walls works if you've got that. But if not, gesso, paint, anything you've got. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to simply create a bit of texture on this artwork here. So I'm not touching the butterfly and I'm not touching the window. I'm just literally popping some of this texture paste on here. Now if you've got like your, what's it called? Sparkle pastes? Cosmic shimmer pastes, anything like that. So you do not have to do this stage. What I'm trying to do though is trying to give you the confidence to try and mix product, because you can get some lovely effects if you have the courage to do it. So I've just scraped a little bit of that on there. I'm not putting too much on because it does actually scare me, but I'm happy to go and give it a bit of a go. Just put a little bit more on here maybe. This is going to give our artwork some texture to build on and play on. So I'm happy with that. I'm not going to go any further because the thought of it being any much more mixed media scares me. So I'm just going to dry this off. And it is a fast drying acrylic texture paste anyway. So So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to add watercolour on top. So similar colour, maybe a little bit brighter this time. So I'm just pouncing that colour on top. And this is going to give us our layers. Bit of red on there. Let's go brown. So what will happen is the colour will seep into any recesses, any marks. And at this point you're probably thinking, as I am, because I am not a mixed media fan at all, but I'm happy to try, I'm happy to push my boundaries and play. That's what Craft Academy is all about. You're probably looking at it now thinking that needs to go straight in the bin. But as you all know, I always encourage you to see your artwork right to the very end, because it's not till the very end where your artwork absolutely comes to life. So you need to bear with it, okay? Have the courage to do it. Just adding some more colour, more texture. And you can all sit here knowing that I am literally just pouncing this colour, bit of paste, bit of colour, pounds, 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 and then at the end, if you really like it, you absolutely know you can take it away with you and go for it. Absolutely, you know it then, because you've seen me do it. You've seen me talk about the stages, the process. There we go. Ooh. So I'm just going to pick up some of this lovely colour here. Add some splashes in the background here before I dry it off. I'm not bothered if it goes on my window either, because I'm going to paint that in. I'm not getting much colour on there, so let's maybe pick up some of that black too. I'm just tapping it round. One big hot mess. So the tape I'm using is the Maya tape. It's very sticky though, so you do have to pop it on your jeans and take the stick off. So that's available on the website. I think it's under the Himi or Maya range. Did you make a demo of the stamp North Pole? I did. If you just pop in, if you go to Stamps by Me and click videos, the picture of it is there. You'll be able to see the picture of it. Polyfiller, yeah, Polyfiller, that's the one I was looking for. That's the one I used to use before I brought my own. That'll work, I believe. Making sure this is dry. And you can use a Thirsty Brush Butterfly, absolutely, yep, the free members gift that you all bought, you could use that one. Absolutely. So, that's my background. I'm not going to take the tape off right to the very end, although I can see it has seeped underneath, so I might have to trim it down, but I'm going to stick it out. We've got to do this. So now what we're going to do is we're going to bring the window and the butterfly to the foreground, and all that ugly, what you would probably call ugly mess, is going to get pushed right into the background. So this is where Donna's absolutely well impressed that I'm dabbling in mixed media. Thank you, somebody's noticed. I am literally pushing my own boundaries here, but I do love to play, but I'm just not sure. But anyway, we'll see how it goes. So I'm just cleaning up this paint palette here. Let's get some colours. So for the window, I'm going to paint in the Sunshine Metallic paint, but you could use equally as well the, let's just grab this one, the Distress Inks Mustard Seed. If you've got mustard seed, you could use the yellow out of your watercolour palette, so use what you've got in your stash. So I'm just going to give this a spray, and we're going to have a gold window on here, she says. That's another water bottle. Just mix some water on top of here, get this going, and now we're going to paint in this window. So I'm going to have a gold window here. So I'm actually going over the ink pad stamped as well, because it doesn't matter. So this is going to be one of those ornate gold windows that looks absolutely superb. So this side. Don't worry when you come to put this down, you're thinking, oh, look at the harsh line where it meets the awful colour. We're going to splash this to the nines at the end. So your eye will be distracted from any straight lines and will be attracted to these spots, as you all know. I'll just put this part in here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to pop some of this lovely metallic colour into these flowers too. I'm not going to cover them all, I'm just going to do a few, because we'll pop some green in too as well. So light spots all over. I'm looking at it myself and thinking, oh my gosh. Right, I'm just going to take some of my brown ink pad. I'm just going to grab my Posh palette and I'm just going to put some ink onto my Posh palette here. I'm just going to paint in this window. But I have faith it's going to look cool. I have a vision. You all know my visions by now. So painting those windows now, try and keep in colour theme. I know the background's got red in there, but try and not have like 9 million colours on the go at once, because it can be quite distracting. So try and stick to a handful of colours if you can. And what I might do is to, rather than blue windows, to keep it all in colour family, I might make it this colour just so it looks like the sun's shining through today rather than a window. So we're keeping with our colours. Okay, so we've got our window going on in the back there. So now what we're going to do is we're going to bring our butterfly together. So the butterfly is going to be with the red tones in mind. So all I'm doing is I'm just taking my wet brush and I'm just going to wet into this area, and I'm going to do one at a time. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go the same brown that we did for our other one, and we're going to expand it down into the red. I'm just going to pound some of that brown in there. Let the water carry it. Like so, and then pick up some of our red. Try and get it to connect to that brown. So that's one. Then wet this one. If you find that the colour's not moving around, add water. I'm having the courage to go a little bit darker here, simply because the other one's going to dry back too light. See that there? And you see on the other side here it's drying back pretty much. I'm just going to make it a little bit darker. And then I'll just get some more colour on here. It's Nathan on camera today. Oops, picked up the brown by error. Get a bit more pigment in there because it will dry back pretty much like a pink. And then the last one on there, see my water's now red rather than white, or clear white. So I've just realised we've got this little bit of a balcony going on here, so I'm just going to pick up some of this brown that I've got on my palette here, just fill in those spaces. And let's just do the body of this butterfly, which is now red and brown because it's bled, but it's fine. Right, let's finish this tree area. Can we see our tree area? So let's go and pop some colour in there. So I'm going to go again in keeping with the red, but I'm just going to mix up a little bit of pink in too, just to give it contrast from my butterfly. I'm just going to fill in all those areas. So I'm just using the side of my brush as we have done for the last couple of days. So I'm just pouncing that colour on the side of my brush. Like so. So let me just give that a second to dry. I'm not going to air dry it, I'm just going to give it a second first. Bye, Donna. So I'm going to push it a little bit by just drying it off with my gun. So here's where you can be as creative or as non-creative as you wish. If you want to stop, pull back the tape, you can do that. But I'm just going to continue on if that's okay, because I am pushing myself, and I think it's good for you guys at home to see that, you know, if you do play, you can get some lovely results if you just have the courage to give it a go. And if you do it several times and you don't like it, then you're going to do something different, aren't you? But we do need a little bit of encouragement to try new things and expand our, what's the word, not vocabulary, our bank of crafting. We need to expand it, and because yes, this is mixed media, but you can incorporate so many of the techniques in this card in an everyday stamped flower card too. So all I'm going to do is the same colour brown. Hopefully it'll show. If it doesn't, I'm going to go darker, and I'm just going to ink up this script stamp. I'm going to keep the script stamp onto the backing card though. I'm not going to take it off. And all I'm going to do is, hopefully, I'm going to do it straight. I'm just going to pop it on here and hopefully get a little bit of print. Can we see that here? Just pushed it back a little bit, which is great. So let's ink up another part of it. So this is not hard. Choose a lighter colour. If it doesn't work, it doesn't matter, does it? You haven't ruined anything if you've done it in a light colour. But I think sometimes a little bit of font or texture in the background is cool. Stay away from your butterfly though, that is the focal point of your card. Just try and get in. There we go. Like so. Now let's add some splats to this. So I'm just going to take some of the red. I'm still going to quite stay away from that window as much as I can, but I'm not bothered if it does go on my window, but I am focusing on what's around the window. I'm even going to go on my butterfly too. So this is colour that's already mixed, what we've already done. Just try my best to stay away from the top bit of that window. What other colours did we use? Brown. Let's mix some of this brown in with this red here. Push that back a little bit. Right, let's dry this one off. And then let's get our sentiment on. So our sentiment is going to be another layer, and when I say another layer, it's going to be a huge stamp, okay, and it's going to go straight in the centre of this card, well, maybe here a little bit. So think about when we started this card, we had a bit of watercolour wash, we popped a little bit of texture paste on there. You could have used gouache, acrylic, potty filler, filler. Is there anybody who's watching right now who does this like every day? This is part of their like dictionary, should we say? What they do all the time? Can you let me know? Not me, Tony, yeah. May Hume, loving this, thank you, May. Right, it's dry, it's dry, it's dry. The actual, the true thing will come when we come to take the tape off. If it's leaked underneath, I'm not going to be bothered about it, because what we can do is we'll trim it down. I'm hoping it hasn't, but I do think it has. I don't think I popped this tape tight enough down here, but we will see. So do I have, let me just see if I do have an acrylic block with me. Oh, I have, look, that's great. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to acrylic block the sentiment straight on. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this fabulous Stay Positive stamp from the Swing. A lot of you will have this one. I'm just going to pop it straight on here so it can relax, and I'm going to pick it up with my block. Just fits, look. So what I need to do with this one is I need to make sure that my ink pad is absolutely working, because I cannot afford for it not to stamp and then we have to double stamp it and make a mess. So I'm just getting my, here we go, I'm just getting one out of my TV craft bag. And then I know it's going to absolutely work. So I'm just going to ink this one up. Can we see here? You need to make sure your artwork underneath is absolutely dry, okay? Or else you're going to end up with a little mishap and then it's going to frustrate you that, you know, we've made a little mess. So I'm sorry, I'm just standing up here. So I'm thinking about where I'm going to pop it. So we can pop it here like it's under the window. I think I'm going to go, I've got to be careful with this texture paste because it won't stamp onto there. So you're just going to have to try your best to stay away from that. I'm just going to ink this up now. Let's hope this turns out all right. If you don't see it behind me on display tomorrow, you know it went in bin. So I'm going to go right under the tree over our butterfly too, because we can. I'm just going to try and get it as centralised as I can. So I'm going to place it down slowly. So never take two hands off the block, always hold it with one. If you swap your hand over, take this one off. Do you know where you hold your breath? Is anybody else holding the breath? Who else is scared? Oh, thank goodness for that, it's stamped fine. What I might have to do though is the P, can we see here, oh no, it's not showing very well there, but the P is getting a little bit lost in the metallic paint, so I might have to go over that with my fine liner pen, but I'm absolutely pleased with that so far. So let's see how much it's bled underneath. So take your tape off, take it off slowly because it might tear. It has bled a little bit, but I can cut it down. And it's not until we pop it on a card. It has bled a little. Oh, never mind. I'll cut it down. Never mind. I'm absolutely pleased with it so far. So when we get this on a card, and it's not until I grab that piece of black card or something underneath, remember, where it comes together. So it seems to have, yeah, careful when you're pulling it off though, because it's tearing it a little bit there. So just bear with now, let's get it so it's something like, so you can see, even with those little like, I'm just going to take it over to my station and just trim it down for you, ladies and gents. So I'm taking off all four sides because it's leaked underneath. And then I'm just going to grab some white. Excuse me, just 1 second. And I'll grab some black too, and let's get this mounted. And I'm going to mount this onto a card for the photo, but for this card I'm definitely going to mount it here now because I really do want you to see. It looks quite cool actually, I'm quite chuffed with this one. So I have my white matten layer, I have my piece of artwork which I've trimmed the edges off, so now you can see as soon as you take off those ugly edges. I mean, if you'd have put your tape down, it looks fabulous with the masking tape board around. It really does look arty. But mine leaked underneath, so there's no other way around it, unfortunately. But I'm certainly not going to pop it in the bin because I actually quite like it. So let's get this onto our card. So I'm using a tape runner here. What I'll do is I'll matten layer it onto white, then onto black, and then onto a card, and I'll do it for the photo. So I'm just going to lean over here. So this is what it would have looked like if we'd not had to trim our nasty edge off there. Can we see that there? And then oops. And I will mount it onto a card, but there we go. And it's textured as well, which is nice. It's not just your traditional watercolour, it's got texture. Can you hear it? So I'll show you at the front here. There we go. So what I would probably do with that now is I would grab a gel pen and I would just pop a little shadow under Stay Positive to make it pop from the page. What do we think? It has been an amazing demo. Thank you, Jeanette. That is very kind. Let me tell you, I'm not the most confident crafter. I don't like to say I will be honest with you because that makes out like I'm not honest all the time, but I am not the most confident, and some of my best cards come from playing, and I truly do believe if you play, if you're enjoying yourself, it don't matter if it goes in bin or not. You know, if you're enjoying yourself, who cares? So there we go. I'll mount it onto a card and I'll take a nice picture and then let me know your thoughts. Don't forget to pop a comment over on YouTube as well. Did you like it? Do you want me to do a bit more of that type of card? Can't get my words out now. Oh, thank you everyone. You are super kind. You can tell me the truth, honest. Although I do know where you all live, most of you. So it's been a lovely afternoon. Thank you so much. So tomorrow I will see you all for the lovely Take a Stroll. Is it Take a Stroll? Yeah, Take a Stroll, this one. And we'll be doing some more techniques with this one. And then I will sort out those dates for you as well, which I've told you about today, which cross over with other things. But lots to tell you about tomorrow. So I'll see you all tomorrow at 1 o'clock with this fabulous stamp in the next range of Craft Academy. See you all later, everyone. Take care. Bye.